If you think shrimp Alfredo is good, wait until you try this coconut shrimp Alfredo. Creamy, rich, and restaurant quality, made at home. Let's get cooking. Open your cupboard and your fridge, grab your ingredients, and let's make this recipe. Welcome to Chef Henry Kitchen, and I see lots of new faces. As based on the title and the holiday season is over, this Alfredo recipe is something that you're gonna love. Shrimp, and there's lots of shrimp right here. And also coconut. I de-shell the coconut. So knowing me, I like to use fresh coconut milk. I like to make it right here, right in front of you guys. I'm gonna wash the coconut. Now the coconut is washed, and I even add the cup of water, and this is what I'm gonna use to blend up the coconut. I have my blender set up, so I'm gonna cut the coconut and I'm gonna add it into the blender. Also, if you're not subscribers yet, go and hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell and also share. This recipe is a game changer. So I'm going to add the water. I'm going to cover and we're going to start the blending. Now the blending is complete. Time to strain and separate the milk from the pulp, which is the coconut trash in Jamaica. Juicing coconut like this, where you blend it up and you use this squeeze bag, you don't have to worry, you just discard, and this bag is also reusable. And if you are in the Caribbean and you're watching, you know what we do with this. It's the trash. We always add like brown sugar to it and it become homemade candy. Now I finish extracting the coconut milk and I will be going through all the ingredients that we're going to use in this recipe as we go along. I'm going to start cleaning up the shrimp. And when I say clean up the shrimp, this one have the shell on. I'm going to remove the shell and also wash the shrimp. And this is a lot of shrimp. We are using 2.5 pounds of shrimp. This bowl is for the shrimp and this is for the outer shell. And this shrimp is pre-cleaned, so it's easy to just remove the shell. And I know you just watching and be like, that's a lot of shrimp. He's cooking for a whole crowd. Just continue watching to the end and just think about coconut shrimp Alfredo when I'm finished. Nice and clean. I'm gonna discard all of the shells. I'm gonna use some lemon juice to wash off the shrimp. You can use lime juice. Some people like to use vinegar. So just squirted some on the shrimp, and this way after cleaning the shrimp, the lemon juice gonna remove the rawness from the shrimp, and also if you use vinegar, it's gonna do the same thing. So guys, I hope you all are following along. Now I'm gonna rinse this off 3 to 4 times. Before I add season to the shrimp, I have my pot set up. While I'm seasoning the shrimp, I can also be boiling the pasta because we're gonna need it. And I'm gonna tell you what type of pasta I'm using. And this is the pasta that I like. If you like other pasta, you can use it. I am using Penne and also the Bowtie pasta. So I'm gonna add some water in the pot and I'm gonna make the water heat up before I add the pasta. I added 6 cups of water inside the pot and it's warm water. So I'm just gonna heat it up some more. With my stove on, the ice settings. Place the cover on. I am going to add a tablespoon of salt. And also a tablespoon of vegetable oil. And the oil is for one reason. Stopping the pasta from sticking to the bottom of the pot. I like to measure everything I use. We are using 3 cups of each pasta. I am starting with 2 cups of penne going in. We're gonna add 2 cups of the Bowtie pasta. We are going to add another cup of both. What I like to do, I like to mix both of them together so it can store away and use less storage. Now we have the pasta on the stove. I'm going to start adding season to the shrimp. I like to get my shrimp well seasoned. I am going to start by adding garlic powder 1 teaspoon. I am going to add a teaspoon of onion powder. Now for the Cajun season. I am going to add 1 teaspoon. I am going to add 1 teaspoon of Italiano season. We are going to add all-purpose seasoning, 1 tablespoon, and some of the season we are using is the Clubhouse brand. I am not a sponsor. I am going to massage the season in. Now we are finished adding seasoning to the shrimp, and look at this seasoned goodness. I am going to cover the shrimp to lock in the seasoning. The pasta is boiling, and I'm going to show you a trick so we don't get the water floating over on the stove. I'm going to place my wooden spoon, put the cover on. So it's going to stop the pasta from boiling over onto the stove. I'm going to start cutting up some green onion, garlic, regular onion, and this is what I recommend. And also I'm going to add sweet pepper. I'm going to start cutting up the sweet pepper, and I'm using half of each sweet pepper. For the green onion, I'm gonna just cut it up fine. Now we are finished prepping the vegetable and green seasoning. I'm going to check on the pasta. I'm gonna give it a good stir, and the pasta is finished cooking. I am going to shut the stove off. I'm going to strain this off. Guys, everything I'm showing you, this is what I recommend, and this is what I do in my kitchen. You're going to get the same result I'm getting just by following all of these steps. Now we are going to fry up the shrimp using this pot. This is a pot that's going to do everything. I am going to set my stove to the high settings. I am going to add 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I am just going to wait until the oil is hot. Now that the oil is hot, I'm going to add the shrimp, and the shrimp is well seasoned. We are going to fry up the shrimp for 3 to 4 minutes. Keep stirring the shrimp while it is frying so it cooks evenly. Now that we finish frying up the shrimp, I'm going to shut the stove off. I am going to remove the shrimp into this bowl. You just want to leave the seasoned oil behind. Now that we finish removing the shrimp, so I'm going to keep the stove on the highest settings. We are going to add the vegetable and green seasoning into the same oil, and this oil is seasoned because we seasoned the shrimp already. We're going to give it a good stir. I am going to add a teaspoon of pimento berry, and allspice is the same, and this is just for extra flavor. I am going to add a teaspoon of dry thyme leaf, and I'm going to mix it in. This coconut shrimp Alfredo sauce, this is my recipe, and you only get it in Chef Henry kitchen. Into the pot with the sauteed vegetable, the green season, I'm going to add 1.5 cup of heavy cream. I'm going to measure the coconut milk. 1.5 cup of coconut milk. I am going to place the cover on, and I'm going to let it come to a rolling boil before I do a taste. Now that the pot is at a rolling boil, I'm going to remove the cover. I am going to do a taste, then I'm going to add more seasoning. I always use 2 spoons when I'm tasting the pot. We're going to add more Italiano seasoning and some of the other seasoning that we used early on. Different spoon. We're going to start out with the Italiano seasoning. We're going to add 1 teaspoon. Garlic powder, 1 teaspoon. We are going to add onion powder, 1 teaspoon. And for the Cajun seasoning, we're going to add 2 teaspoons equal to 1 tablespoon. And the all-purpose seasoning, we're just going to add 1 teaspoon. We're going to stir the seasoning in, and everything is creaming well. And now we have the right amount of seasoning. I am going to add the Parmesan cheese, and this is 1/2 cup. Now we're going to add the shrimp. Now I added the shrimp, and I'm giving it a good stir. And check out this creamy goodness. And I'm telling you, this coconut shrimp Alfredo make it be the #1 on your table. Time to add the pasta into the pot. And I'm going to slowly mix it in. I am going to cover. I'm going to let this go for 3 minutes. And this is just going to help the sauce to get a little more thick, and also the pasta to soak up that sauce. It's been the exact 3 minutes. I want to check, and the coconut shrimp Alfredo. I'm going to shut the stove off, and I'm going to make a plate, and I will see you all for the taste test. I have my coconut shrimp Alfredo on a plate. Everything is well plated. Again, it's legendary. And I'm going to go in for the taste. I am not even gonna try some more. I want you to make this and come back into the comment section. Just follow everything. Just like what I'm tasting here. I know you guys want some. Here you go. Nice and creamy coconut Alfredo. I'm gonna enjoy this, guys. From my kitchen to yours, just a screen away.